welcome to Barricade Rides, videos for motorcycle enthusiasts. I'm at Emerald City Harley with David, and we got a great video for you. So let's check this out. David, tell us a little bit about this bike real quick.
Man, this is part of the Icon collection. This is the remake of the 1969 Electra Glide. It's of course on the modern platform, modern engine, modern electronics, but it still has that, as the name would suggest, that revival of an iconic Harley Davidson. So we're going to go over this in a little more detail and let you know a little bit about this bike and why it matters. Barricade, thanks again for the opportunity to do another video with you. I love doing these. Love getting the word out about some of the cool bikes that we have here on the floor. And this is by far the most unique we've had here since I've been here. So as we talked about in the intro, the Icon series is Harley's way of kind of reproducing some iconic motorcycles throughout their history. It's not unlike guitar manufacturers. I mean, all of the big manufacturers, Gibson and Fender and all these different companies, they'll do like reissues of iconic guitars. So you might get a remake of a 1965 Strat or a Tele or maybe a Les Paul, and they'll have like the wear marks on them and stuff like that, so they look authentic, they look that vintage, but they've got modern electronics in them. It's not unlike that for Harley Davidson with the thought on this particular model. So they're going to be coming out with several of these Icon collection bikes. This is the first one we've received. It happens to be number 1091 out of 1500, and that is a limited production. They're only going to make 1,500 of this particular model, so we were really happy to get one. So what's the deal with this bike? So a little bit of history on the FL series for Harley Davidson. In 1941, Harley introduced the first FL. It was kind of the first kind of more touring type bike, right? Larger frame, a little beefier, larger tank, more comfortable seat, things like that. In 1949, they came out with the FLH, which was the first hydraulic front end on a motorcycle. And so that gave even more comfort, better handling. That was called the Hydra Glide. Then in 1958, Harley also introduced rear brakes, rear suspension, which made it even more comfortable. And that was called the Duo Glide. And then in 1965, that was the next major thing, was they came out with electric start. And so they changed the nickname of the bike, even though it's still the FLH, they changed the nickname to Electra Glide. And people were so excited to have a bike that was electric start instead of the kickstart, right? So that's what they did in 1965. In 1969, this iconic Batwing was finally available for the first time. Now the reason the Batwing and the bags don't match on this bike, it's true to its heritage. In 1969, if you wanted a Batwing and bags, they were only going to be in white fiberglass. They didn't come in colors, they didn't match the bikes. They were truly a factory add-on, an option on these bikes, and that's why they recreated this bike to look like that. So, if you look at some of the pictures that Barricade's putting up in the video, you can see the incredible resemblance between this bike and a 1969 Electra Glide. Also some pictures of some of the other FL models in there. But this is truly Harley Davidson history. A lot of people say, well, it's just an overpriced Electra Glide or Electra Glide standard. Well, that's, I guess, a matter of opinion. When you're buying a 1969 reissue guitar and you're paying $3,500 for it, That's a lot to spend, but you're paying for that history, you're paying for that authenticity, you're paying for the look, right? This is a bike that's perfect for those guys that collect Harley Davidsons. It's a perfect bike for somebody that wants to get something that is truly unique. You will be the only one on your block, maybe even in your town, maybe your city, in some cases maybe your state, with this bike. So you're buying something that's truly unique and very special. So what about the bike? First of all, this blue and white with the black denim underneath, the white pinstripe, you can see in some of those pictures, even the badging they have on the side of the tank, it is so authentic. It is so, such a great remake of a legendary bike. So the colors are beautiful. The bike is put together beautifully. It's got some of the vintage touches, like this seat, which is a lot like the seat they put on a police bike, right? It's got the spring underneath, which is adjustable. It's got the chrome grab bar around the back of the seat. The saddlebags. Now this was an option. Not all Electra Glides had the chrome bag guards. This one has it. It also has my favorite part of the bike. Yeah, one-touch bags, right? So now you've got the Rushmore on a 1969 Electra Glide. This is my absolute favorite part of the bike. That logo is just iconic. Beautifully done. Now, along with the styling, the vintage look, the retro look, you get a ton of enhancements in terms of the new technology. So, starting with the power plant, that's where you start with every Harley. 114 cubic inch Milwaukee-Eight, amazing power. I think it was the 1958 FL8 had a 1200 cc engine. This one is closer to about 1860. So, fantastic power. They run so nice, they're so smooth. Unlike the old FLHs, they don't leak. They're trouble-free. All the modern technology, the fuel injection. Then you add to that the fact that this bike has the 2-into-1 into 2 exhaust, so that gives you that back pressure you want. So right off the floor, this bike handles so great. You've also got twin semi-floating rotor disc brakes up front, single in the rear. This bike also comes standard with ABS, and it also comes standard with the RDRS package. So you've got cornering ABS, you've got hill hold assist, you've got tire pressure monitoring, you've got limited drag slip elimination. So all kinds of functionality on this bike with the new technology. You also, of course, have the GTS boom audio infotainment system. So you've got the latest in technology combined with this retro look, right? Awesome, awesome bike. The other thing that they did on this bike to kind of maintain the look and the feel of the bike, it is a solo saddle. And these bikes came with a solo saddle. Now you can add a standard touring seat to this bike. Obviously, if you're going to take this saddle off, you're going to put it in some bubble wrap and keep it in a safe place because you want it with this bike. But it is available to put a 2-up saddle. You can also order a white tour pack and put it on the back with quick release hardware, and it gives it even more that kind of that first touring Harley Davidson look to it. But all the modern electronics, the modern braking system, the RDRS, the ABS, the electronics in the fairing, it's like the ultimate combination, best of both worlds, if you will. That vintage design, but you know, in that modern package, so you get all the nice benefits of the newer technology. Interesting note on this too. This white is the same white they use on modern police bikes. Our bags are still fiberglass with like a polymer resin, I think it is. So they're still fiberglass. That's why when you see one of these bags that may have been damaged or whatever, you got some fibers coming out of it. So still a fiberglass bag. That's also true on any of the new Harley Davidsons. That's the way the bags are made. It's not plastic. It's fiberglass with a resin.
Thank you for checking out this video, and thank you to Emerald City Harley for letting us see this beautiful bike. And obviously we're in Washington and it's just starting to rain, and this thing is absolutely gorgeous. I'm a huge fan of this bike, and as always, brothers and sisters,
stay safe
and ride your ride.